So we're going to talk about lead gen in just a second. First, tell me what's opened up for you over the last 3 days, maybe even just from this morning. What's opening up for you? Who'd like to go first? Don't all rush to the microphone at once.
I'll go
Okay.
first to get
All right. Get it started. Yes. Get this party started.
Okay, my name is Jim. Do you all remember me?
Hey, Jim.
Okay. What's opened up for me? Well, let's see. Feelings. I go to feelings about as often as Orlando dances. I mean, so that's changed for me. You did the first time abundance thing, and poof, no change at all. I couldn't feel anything. I didn't know what you're talking about. It's just, well, okay, someday, someday. And so finally, a few people helped me out, and they gave me some insight, and so we tried some things, and finally it started to work. So on this last break, great lady, Jen, helps me, and she walks me all through it. And now I come back and I take the test again, and I'm better. I'm not 10.
Nice.
And for once, I was able to feel where I can feel something, which I had never felt before. I mean, so that was very different. The first time it happened, I said, no, that's just indigestion, The second time, I hadn't eaten anything. So I said, but it's still indigestion. I'm sure that's what it is, And then finally it went in my head, and I said, I don't know, maybe that's stress or something. And so then she says, well, just send love at it. How do I do that? I don't know how to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I figured out how to send love.
Nice.
And so I just embraced my anxiety and my pain and all of my problems. And for some reason, they left me, so I love it and it leaves. What is that? That's for another time, I suppose, okay? Yes. So I heard you talking about this extraordinary coach where you're going to teach me how to do this. And I said, baloney, it doesn't even happen to me, And Sarah started the other night at the party, and I said, what's this muscle crap? She says, no, hold it steady. Okay. Now, no, you're holding it too tight. Well, where do I hold it, But eventually she got it to work, and so now it's starting to work. So I signed up for your extraordinary coach, and so...
Congratulations.
Next time you guys
Smart
see
move.
me, I'm going to be breathing at you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's give him a big round of applause. Smart move. Smart move. Congratulations.
So on the break, I talked to my husband and found out that the transmission box in my car disintegrated overnight. And instead of the typical, oh my God, what am I going to do? It was like, okay, we'll take care of that. The time and money abundance that have not been there for forever. Right there. Thank you, Christian.
You're welcome. Woo! Big money business coach. Didn't we think it was going to be like all charts and numbers and spreadsheets and financials or something?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's like this is my third event with you.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of, I'll call it spiritual work for a while. And I thought, I'm going to go to, this will be a different event. I need more about the business strategies. And I should have known it's not going to be. But I did, and though the triangle and the assessment and all that actually.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not even like, I come from, one of my backgrounds is high-tech world where you have lots of complicated systems and information. It's like, those are really simple and really powerful. That's all you really need. The rest is inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's give him a big round of applause.
And I just want to shout out to NJ because she helped peace processed with me during the break. And I have to admit, after I've been doing this and working with clients, I had a little bit of like, this isn't going to happen. I'm really in a resistant place. And I feel like TSW, I feel like a completely different person after that. It was
Awesome.
just so powerful. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm big.
Yeah, yeah. Woo! Woo! Nice. All right.
So I don't even know where to start, but I was blown away with the whole experience. For me, actually, this whole woo-woo stuff is second nature because I'm intuitive and I hear, see things, and that's what I've been doing for the past 2.5 years. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come here. This is gonna be about business, and I'll learn all this. And I'm like, wait a second, is this a Twilight Zone or something? But really, this is amazing because it's teaching me how to do this more like mainstream. And that's what a lot of spiritual people and spiritual practitioners don't know how to do. Mm-hmm. So I'm very grateful that I have this opportunity, and you guys are all amazing. And I'm going to be saying a lot of woo-woo stuff, and a lot of people have heard me say, spirit guides, I see stuff behind people and intuitively tune in, but that's just what I do. So this is just taking it to another level. So thank you.
Before we get the next one, I just wanted to say, first, thank you for sharing that, because in the early years of my coaching business, when I was a business coach, I'm still a business coach, but I felt this tearing apart. I felt this, I felt torn between being a business coach and being a spiritual coach. Business coach, but I feel like I should be a spiritual coach. But business owners are paying money. I don't know if anybody's going to pay for spiritual coaching. And I was just so torn up about it. And then finally, something got healed inside of me, and I realized that I didn't need to be a spiritual coach, that I could be a business coach, and that I could just be my spiritual self. I felt like I felt like the business coaching had to be separate from spiritual coaching. I felt like it had to be different, like I could do one or the other. And really, I do both, as you can see. So I think it's an important distinction for everybody to get that, yeah, we're going mainstream with this stuff because everybody needs it. Everybody actually deep down wants it, craves it. And you don't have to be something different. You can be business coach, you could be a relationship coach, you could be a health coach, any kind of coach, and still bring all this to the table with you if you want to. You don't have to, but you can, and it's beautiful when you do. It's funny how everybody has been saying I thought it was going to be all businessy and not. And we've shared a lot of businessy stuff. So, in fact, I feel, it's probably been at least 60-40 businessy to inner game. May not feel that way because we did a lot of inner game this morning, but the whole first day, we only did the very last session of the day did we start getting into any of this inner game stuff. And then yesterday, we did a little bit. So, but it's awesome because it's infused. In fact, the business stuff is spiritual. Money is spiritual. Making money is spiritual. Relationships are spiritual. Sex is spiritual. Sales is spiritual. In fact, there isn't anything that isn't spiritual because we live in a spiritual world. Sometimes we forget it. Sometimes we get disconnected from it. Sometimes we get really down into the hard nitty-gritty of, But we are in a spiritual world. Even this is a spiritual world. It's all spiritual. So might as well enjoy it, bask in it, get more connected to source, get more intuitive, more guided, and then go help these poor bastards out there who have no idea what's coming. Just like many people in here were like, they came, they saw the thing, I gave away some stuff. Okay, first 5 sessions, okay, here's what you say to try. Oh, wait, maybe I could do this. Okay, great. I did the webinar. There's 5 ways to help clients make money fast. All right. Hey, this is all business practical. All right, let's go. I need more of that. That sounds great. And then you got here, and I did the bait and fish and tackle and teach and map and all the stuff that comes with the bait, right? So anyway, thank you for acknowledging that. And I wanted to just express that you don't have to be torn. If you've ever felt that way or if you feel that way now, just let that go to bed and embrace your true spiritual destiny. All right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm all over that bait and fish.
Yes. You can
fact-
just turn the mic part even up. There you go. Yeah.
And I'd be happy to go fishing with you on your new fishing boat sometime.
You already are.
All right.
You already are. This is my fisher of men.
Yeah,
This is my fishing boat right here. You're in it.
cool.
Thanks for coming for the ride.
I resonated with a lot of what Jim said. And, in a few months, I'm going to be doing a lot of heavy breathing as well. So,
All right. Another XOC. Awesome.
I think one of the things, just you leading by example. So when you said yesterday that you give a lot of stuff, you do. And there's spiritualness in that as well. What you put out comes back. And so I think just as an example for all of us as coaches, not being afraid to give too much is something I'm going to take away from this.
Awesome.
Just one quick question for stuff to cover.
Yeah.
You do a lot of healing.
Yeah.
And maybe talking a little bit at some point about the line between coaching, healing versus therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll talk about it right now.
okay.
There's no line for me.
Okay.
I don't care about lines. Lines are
Right.
for other people. For me, all that matters is the person and the results that they want. And whatever we need to do to help them get there, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, sometimes
Okay.
it's consulting. Like some people are like, well, coaching is this. This is consulting. That's therapy. Coaching is this little space in between where you don't tell them anything to do and you don't help them heal anything and you just talk to them and help them figure it all out for themselves. And to me, that's bullshit. That is a very narrow, very myopic, very small vision of coaching and definition for coaching. My definition is that coaching is the facilitation of growth and achievement. Facilitate. Whatever facilitation, I give you permission as a non-legal authority to do whatever you feel guided to do to help your client succeed. If it is giving advice, give advice. If it's asking questions, ask questions. If it's helping them to heal themselves, then by all means. For me, there is no line. The line for me isn't about my process. The line for me is about the client. And I haven't been, if somebody was like, hey, you know what, I've got, and I don't even know, because I think in the future is where I'm going, I might not even have that line in terms of clients. I mean, anybody who wants to heal, all are welcome. No matter what you got, bring it on. As long as you bring it with an open heart and a real openness to get healed, let's see what happens. I don't know. But what I was going to say is, hey, if somebody's got chronic depression or anxiety and it's, whatever, and then maybe, well, here's the thing. It's actually not even about the client. This is the distinction. It's not about the line during the coaching. It's not even about what the client and what kind of client comes. It's about what the client's outcome is. For me, if my client's outcome is results oriented, then that's what we're going to do. If the client comes and they just want to talk about their problems day in and day out and they don't have any goals, then that's not really what I'm about. I'm about helping people really what I'm about is helping people just be their absolute best versions of themselves. When it comes down to it, and this was coming to me over the course of the last couple of days, just because of all the miracles, not only that occur, but the miracles that you guys are, and the shifts and transformations. I'm so glad I started doing live events again, because we had coaches in our programs and stuff. We had clients in our programs, but I never got to see them, And I'd hear from them. They'd write me, and hey, I just got a lot of clients, and I'm crushing it, and good for you, and that's all awesome. And the cash and prizes are beautiful, but that's secondary. That really is secondary. Like when you can see people coming, that came a couple months ago, and another month, a couple months after, and come again, and just to watch people blossom. I mean, it's one of my favorite things about my wife. I mean, we met, I was I was 30, about to turn 31, and she was 23, about to turn 24. And, just watching her blossom into a woman. I mean, she's a woman, but just really come into her own and gain more confidence. She's still blossoming, And just to watch this, for all of you guys who are a part of our deeper community, over time, just becoming your best self, blossoming, and just letting go of all the stuff. I mean, you got to meet Lee last night on stage. I interviewed her the day before at lunch for a video that we're going to do, and just Lee's blossoming has been so awesome. Yeah. And right before our eyes, NJ, I mean, she's been doing it over time, but just this one quick, you never know which one's the one. They all add up, and they're all cumulative, but and my own blossoming has been, and if you've been witness to me blossoming over the last few months, and just becoming and getting clearer, and the vision's stronger, and we are taking this stuff mainstream, because TSW, crazy style. This stuff works so powerfully, so big. So I don't even know what you said, but somehow it led to all that. So what was somewhere? Oh, yeah, in terms of what is what and what's the code, where the line is. I don't know. So, so I'm all about, just your best self, letting go of all the stuff that's not you so you could be your truest, best self, your spirit, letting your spirit shine through. Healer of the human spirit. I said it when I was 24, 25 on my business card, and it's still true. So I don't worry about the line personally. I think it's fear of being, doing something wrong, fear of hurting people, and that's a good, that's coming from a good place, or fear of, lawyers coming after us and things like that. And honestly, let's just clear that out of our bubble. This definitely doesn't exist inside my world. Let's keep that, we're safe, we are powerful, and with the instant miracle, you know what? If anything does like that happen, there is no harming, at least for me, and I hope for you. But no, there's no bad. There's just the stuff that I was wanting to have happen, and the stuff that maybe I wasn't wanting to have happen, but must have needed to happen. And that maybe it pushed my buttons. Everything that happens, we attract. So if we've got issues about stuff, we're probably going to attract it. And great, we attract it, we heal it, we move on. So that, I think, answered the question. Let's give it up for Mark.
So for me, this was a total bait and fish thing. And I've never seen you present. I've never seen you do anything. I just kind of sat down with you at lunch at Lisa's event. I was like, oh, this feels right. I'll sign up for your event. And then I was so busy for the last 2 weeks. I have not looked at anything, done anything. So I'm sitting here on the first day, and it's like, oh, this is cool. I'm totally in here for the businessy stuff. And then we start doing weird stuff. And my whole reaction, okay, maybe if I wait 15 minutes, there's going to be some more businessy stuff. And we're doing time management. It's like, oh, interesting. Okay, so I have these issues, and we're still doing the weird stuff. And what I started realizing at the end of the first day, and now even more, I love learning. I love absorbing new information. I love going to events and like learning for 8 hours in a row. And what I usually get is a humongous overwhelm. Oh my gosh, I have so much to do and so little time, and I don't know how I'm gonna do this and how I'm gonna implement it. And right now I'm like, wow, so many ideas, so much potential, and I have all this time in the world to implement it. I'm like, okay, maybe I just relax and enjoy the effects. So that's kind of my big thing.
Awesome. Let's give it up for Alina.
So one thing that I have taken away, which is so fantastic, is I've always been a giver, and my motivation has been to give, give, give. But I have lost the ability, I had before coming here, lost the ability to give to myself. So it's not just about giving, it's about receiving. And I have received so much from you, all of you, and just feel like I am stepping into such a more empowered and calm and centered and lovely person, which is part of who I am. So, and feminine, yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Rebel spiritual person.
Hi, Janet.
Hi. I just had to say thanks, not just for me, but for the healers, because like this is the opposite end of the pole. Like I really came for the medicine this time, which was the business. Okay, because like moms, women, a lot of people, we always put everybody first, and
Yeah.
you don't even allow yourself to dream. And for healers to heal, like it's the whole Marianne Williamson thing about like who are we not to shine our light? Who are we not to ask for help? Who are we like? And the biggest thing is like you were saying, Aaron, it's the allowing. So just the way you don't dance very much, and you haven't felt very much, I'm going to charge. And it's the challenge.
Hell yeah.
We all need the challenge, and it's all of the communities shared with me that, like, if we prejudge, like here I am saying, no, I'm your mother and I don't judge, but like I freaking prejudge everybody that they can't afford it or that they're not going to rise to the challenge. Like we really have to honor them, that if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. And like what I loved about you is like deeds speak, right? Okay, so
What was that?
Deeds speak.
Deeds speak.
And,
Yes, actions.
Yeah, and like one of my greatest gifts is the love of learning, but to have the beginner mindset, like Leslie was saying, and you don't know what you don't know, okay? So just set aside the disbeliefs and allow it to happen. So thank you very much for having live events, and I've blossomed as well. So
You sure have.
Yeah.
You sure have. Yeah. Awesome. All right, last one.
So we're all here healers of the human spirit, and this is also my third event. And I came in and I believed myself to be broken in so many ways. And I get that I am a kick-ass coach. I get that I'm a kick-ass workshop leader. And I'm uncovering all these layers of, but do I really want to do this? And what I keep getting is just the layers and layers and layers of that onion. And every time there's something else, there's a new button that's, oh, that's what I'm piece processing this time. And I sit with it for 3 days, and get a charge. And sometimes it goes away and sometimes it doesn't. But I've learned to trust that even though it doesn't feel different, there's something happening. So thank you for that.
All right. Can we get that mic out of the way? Think big, be bold. Who wrote that? That's awesome. My daughter's artwork. Yeah, that red thing is a picture of you. This is a picture of me? Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I'm pretty handsome. I'm a square. Wow, I have a lot of beverages up here. Okay, so in your manual, there's actually some stuff about generating leads, lead generation. Wow, there's a whole section. There's actually a whole section here. Oh my gosh, that's right. Goodness gracious. I forgot about all these goodies that you guys are getting. Wow. I think this one's in here twice. Oh no, that's the reward. Okay. All right. So there are 7 ways to generate leads. And I'm going to share them with you right now, and we're going to talk about some of them a little bit more than others, okay? So if you turn to page 53, and you to the middle of the 7 ways to gobble up subscribers. So networking, you can, as a business coach especially, there are a lot of networking events. There are a lot of seminars. I would start going to more business seminars if I were you. In this room, we're all business coaches, so, I don't know how much of hiring each other you guys might do, but more than welcome to do so. But imagine this was just a straight-up business training event, not for coaches, and you were a coach at a business training event. I mean, everybody that you met, everybody in the room would be a potential client. You went to a seminar. Tony Robbins has a seminar called Business Mastery. It's 10 grand. But there's I don't know. I don't remember how many people were there. Maybe 800 or something business owners there. And, he's not the only guy who's got a business seminar. There's lots of business seminars and less expensive ones. So I would go to those not only to learn, but that's a great place to potentially get some clients. I taught a bonus training called How to Get Clients and JV Partners from attending other people's live events. And I attended Lisa Sasovich's Speak to Sell, and Alina is in the bigs. Happy to sit next to each other at lunch. So, I didn't even have the intention of getting clients at the event because, I charge $250,000 per year now per client, and so it wasn't an intent, but, it happens. But if you have the intent, it's even more likely to happen. So there's some training on that, which I don't remember if that was a bonus training that you guys were getting or not, but Selena, can you just make a note? We'll go ahead and give you guys that. You guys want that training? Yeah? Yeah. It works. It works. One of the secrets is go there to give, not to get. See, that's the biggest mistake people make when it comes to networking, is they come trying to get. They're hungry. Hunger and neediness pushes people away. confidence draws people in. And if you go to give, I just happened to be sitting next to Alina. She asked me some question. I just started coaching her. I'm like, she had some ideas. I'm like, well, we should just do business coaching. Be more broad instead of, And she's like, wow, yeah, huh. And then I don't know how she's like, I think I'm on your list. I'm like, yeah. She pulled up an email. She's like, yeah. Oh, and then it said business coaching, big money business coach. I'm like, oh, you should attend that. She's like, oh, yeah. So she did. And then stepped up in a really big way, which is awesome. But I didn't go there to get. Even if I had set the intention, I would go there to give. That's the secret. So you go and you support and you share. And so everybody I met there, I said, hey, if I just chatted a little bit, and when I go to events these days, a lot of people know me. At least this event, a lot of you guys were there, and a lot of our tribe was there that aren't here. We had, probably 35 people from our community were over at Lisa's event. And then lots of people that weren't part of our tribe, recognized me. But then there are people who don't know me at all, and, I talk to people, and then they give me their card. I'm like, well, would you want me to, or what you can say, I didn't say this, but what you can say is, I write articles, or I wrote an article recently on how to double, triple, or 10x your business. Would you like me to send it to you? Write that down. I wrote an article recently on how to double, triple, or even 10x your business. Would you like me to send it to you? And if they say yes, say, I also send other powerful resources for helping business owners grow their businesses. Would you like me to send those too? And if they say yes, then say, great, I'm going to add you to my email list, and you'll instantly get that first article, and then I'll start sending you some other good stuff shortly thereafter. Sound good? If they say yes, get their card, you enter them onto your email list. Not necessarily in that second, but you meet people, you get all their cards, and then you enter them all later. So that's permission-based marketing, and that's permission-based email adding, versus what some people do is they get everybody's card and they add them in without permission. So we don't play that game. I used to play that game because I didn't know any better in 15 years ago when the internet was new and email was new and all that stuff. I met people and I was just like, oh, add them to the list. But once then there started being like etiquette and stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, it's probably better to get permission, and that's easy way to get permission, right? Give people stuff they want. I didn't specifically do that at this event because, again, I'm not in this hungry place to do that. But I did say, I'll follow up with you. So I sent an email which was like, hey, it was great meeting you there, and and I gave them some links for different resources they might want to get. But I would do it the other way, the first way. So networking events. So there's events specifically for business owners to network at, and they're all over in your community. Even in your community. That's right. Even in Tanzania. And I think there's somebody from Tanzania on the live stream. Yeah? What's that? Oh, no, that's Tasmania. Barbara's in Tasmania. But there's someone else that I think is in Tanzania. Anyway, there's people all over the world. But yeah, there's often, most everywhere, there's some sort of business networking mixers of some sort. Maybe it's BNI, LaTip, Rotary, which I tried Rotary, wasn't good for me, but some places Rotary is kind of like a mixer in some parts of the country. My first coach was like, Rotary was really good for her. I tried it, not good for me. Chambers of Commerce have meetings, all places to go. And guess what? Even if you're not the only business coach there, it doesn't matter. You're going to scoop up all the clients. Here's why. Number one, you are going to do a better job speaking your client's language than anybody else. This is one of the things that drives me crazy, that everybody is teaching that you've got to be unique. You got to find, you need to be unique. You got to find your own unique this or your own unique that. You need a niche, but you don't need to be like crazy unique. Like I don't need to be the, I don't know, there's just all sorts of crazy ways that people are trying to be unique. And that actually is a problem. That causes a problem. Because then, you're alienating your customers because they don't care about you. Clients don't care if you're the same or different. They care if you can help. So the best way to differentiate yourself is to be better at speaking their language. Just do a better job of speaking the customer's language, the client's language, than the other people, and that's going to draw people to you. And if you say, I help business owners double, triple, and 10x their businesses while cutting their work hours in half, that's the siren song for a business owner. Maybe not all of them, but the ones who want to play that game, which is a good group of people to be coaching, people who want to play that game, the double, triple, 10x game. So you're going to be speaking their language. So when you speak their language, that's one reason why you're going to stand out among all the other crowds, because you'll be speaking their language better. The other is because you're more confident and you're not needy. So there's three reasons why you're going to stand out. You're not needy in a sea of neediness. You're confident in a sea of insecurity, and you're speaking the language of the clients. That's it. You don't need some big fancy, uniqueness and trying to be all crazy unique. That you can grow into some of your uniqueness. Some of those things may be things to accent, and some may not be. I'm starting to highlight more of this spiritual stuff, but in my next launch, it's probably going to be very prominent. My next launch of free sessions that sell. So the product isn't necessarily, but I'm going to be giving people a pass to instant miracle experience when they buy free sessions that sell. So I'm going to make it a little bit more prominent, which is maybe a way of differentiating myself. But then again, in the coaching world, it's a sea of spirituality, so I don't know that differentiates me at all anyway. But I'm not trying to find how I'm different. So much branding is so backwards. In client attraction and money-making mastery, which you also have since you signed up for Big Money Business Coach, I talk more in depth on the $1 Million branding method, which we started on, which was getting clear about your clients' pains, problems, challenges, dreams, and desires. And we started that. And then we talked about naming, stuff a little bit. There's also, where was I going with this? Oh, branding's backwards. Yeah, most people teach. Thank you. You guys are so good. So many branding people are like trying to brand you about you, and they're ignoring the fact that you have any customers you're trying to attract. And so it's like, well, what's your favorite color? And what makes you unique? And I'm like, well, I don't know what makes me unique. Well, that's how I'm such a good branding coach, because I can help you figure out what's so unique about you. And guess what? Clients don't give a shit about you. Nobody cares about you but your close friends, your mom, and me, and your, in this community, of course. But random people out there, prospects, they don't care about you. They don't know you. They don't care about you. They don't care that you're unique. They don't want to know about how unique you are and how different you are. And that is such a road to failure. So much of what's taught out there in the rest of the world for growing your business will fuck you over if you follow their advice. Coaching schools, give away sample sessions for coaching. That is not a recipe for success. That is a recipe for failure. Give away, coach 100 people for free. Guess what? That is not going to build your confidence. That's going to destroy your confidence, because guess what free clients are like? Uncommitted, flaky, people who don't do their homework, don't show up for their sessions, Maybe some are different. I'm not saying they're all that way, but in my experience, many of them were. I mean, there's so much stuff that's taught that's like the wrong stuff to do. It's so heartbreaking. So anyway, when it comes to branding, don't ignore yourself. Focus on the client, focus on the customer, and as you grow, as you evolve, maybe some of these different uniquenesses will come out, and you can share that. But you don't need to be different. Okay, man, I was just talking about networking, for crying out loud. So since we're talking about networking, let's see. I think I have a list in here. In-person places to network or speak on page 65. So there's Chamber of Commerce, BNI, RBN, I don't know if they still exist, LaTip, Kiwanis, Lions Club, Toastmasters, Vistage, which used to be something else Small Business Expos, Speed Networking Events, SCORE, Service Corps of Retired Executives, Small Business Meetup.com, small business groups, Marketing Business Growth Seminars, Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle meetings, which are around in different parts of the country, small business seminars and workshops. And Selena? Lots of women's networking groups like E-Women's Network and National Association of Professional Women. Yeah, so if you're a woman, you even have more options. And maybe men are welcome there too. I don't know. I already feel excluded. Oh, so if as a man you could actually go to these and stand out because you'll be one of few men. And if you're a single man, all the more. And if you're hot. All right, so that's networking. Any questions about networking? So how to get clients at networking? You just introduce yourself, you have that conversation. I wrote an article. Would you like me to send it to you, etc.? If you get a chance to give a presentation, like give a 30-second commercial to the whole room, then you just say, hi, my name's Christian Michelson. I'm a business growth coach. I help business owners double, triple, and 10x their businesses. And I help them cut their work hours in half. And because I'm new to this group, anyone who's really excited about producing those results in your business, I'd like to offer you a complimentary 10x your business coaching session. If you'd like one of those, then just come and see me after everyone's done introducing themselves, and make sure you give me your card and tell me specifically that you'd like to have one of those sessions. Sound good? Great. Bam, on to the next. You get 15 people, you could fill your practice from just going to a couple networking events, potentially. Seriously. Okay, that's networking. Next one on the list here is JVs, or strategic alliance partners. People who also market to your target market. Who else sells things to business owners? Well, I'll tell you what, there's actually a list for that too, because that's how much I do your work for you, which is on page, which is right next to the other one. On page 64. Oh no, 63. 63 and 64, but really 63 is the one to look at right now. So business accountant, business attorney, business banker, business broker, which might not be on this list, but you might want to write that one down. Computer repair, computer sales, computer networking companies, credit card processing companies, employee benefits companies, reps, like, people who work for AFLAC, stuff like that. Financial planners that specialize in small business owners. Human resources agents, so people who, there's consultants too, like human resource consultants. Insurance agents that focus on business insurance. Marketing companies, not marketing consultants, per se, but marketing, people who maybe print up marketing materials or stuff like that. Office supply companies, office furniture companies, payroll services, printing companies, commercial realtor, security systems sales reps that specialize in, businesses, shared office space sales reps or companies, web design companies, a factoring company. A factoring company is a company that gives a business, if you're struggling, if you've got good sales but your cash flow, you're in a cash crunch, they'll give you money now for the future, for the money that the bills that are supposed to come in. Like if you sent out a lot of invoices, but you need all that invoice money right now, they give you the money now, and they buy your invoices for you, and they take a percentage. Medical billing companies, virtual assistants. These are all people that you can partner with that are local. Many of them could be local in your area that you could partner with these people. And what could you do with those local JV partners? Anybody have an idea? Do a workshop. Absolutely. Make some stone soup. You guys are smart. I love it. I think I'm making this stuff too easy for you. The third way to generate leads is public speaking. So if you can get yourself booked to speak somewhere, and then you either offer a free session and or raffle off something, you can get 80 or 100% of the people in the room on your email list. Let alone fill up your whole coaching practice potentially from one talk. That's right. Could be that easy. One workshop, or 2, or 3, or 5, or 10. So much of this stuff, it depends on so many things. There's the strategy that I'm teaching you. Then there's the implementation of the strategy. Do you execute it well? It's what to do, and then how you do it, right? Maybe I'm like, do a workshop, and then you come up with this horrible workshop title, and you get 5 people there, and you've never spoken before, and you are boring as hell, and you make an offer, and your free session offer is horrible, then you're not going to, what's going to happen? Probably not a lot. On the other hand, if you're a decent speaker, which you don't have to be great, that's the thing. I started off, I just went to Toastmasters, and I was nervous, and all this stuff. I wasn't a great speaker. I'm still not a great speaker. I say all the time. My best friend Sean, he's a great speaker. He can tell you amazing stories that will get you laughing, get you crying. I'm a great teacher, and that's all you need to be as a teacher. You just teach some stuff. That's one of the things that helped me be able to speak. I stopped trying to speak. I started just teaching. And then the third thing of how effective it is how much of your own shit do you have going on, right? But assuming that you're a halfway decent speaker, which again, if you're just a halfway decent teacher, you don't even have to be a speaker. You just get up there and teach some stuff, and you're halfway decent. If you have a halfway decent title, subject that you're going to be teaching them, if you've got a halfway decent free session offer, and you've got clean landscape here because you don't have any stuff going on. I mean, look at Sarah, who isn't in the room right now, but she gave a 20-minute talk, and didn't offer a free session, and she still ended up getting 2 clients hiring her at $36,000 a year each. So if you can be in that space inside, and you can talk to a bigger room. She had 5 people in a room, and you can talk for more than 20 minutes. She only talked for 20, but you want to do an hour or 90 minutes. If you can, and if you have free sessions that sell, that energy, you are attractive, and people are going to want to work with you. People want to be a part of it. So, yeah, one talk could do the trick. I'm not making any promises, but I'm letting you know what can happen with this strategy. And is that a comment or a question? Question. All right, grab the mic. Simone? All right, you can be first.
So my
Yeah,
question,
you can stand right behind her.
my question is, so if you have the opportunity to potentially be exposed to somebody's large list, like
Yes.
several thousand, hundreds or thousands of people,
Yes.
so can you talk a little bit about limiters or qualifiers? Like if I were to offer a free session, I don't want to end up with, 500 of them.
Well,
I mean, I would, but maybe not all at once.
yeah, right. So that's stay here. Stay here while I answer your question, because that was actually Joe's question earlier, and some of you guys might want that. Well, number one, being a business coach is people are qualified more. Like if you're a dating coach, you might want to be a little bit tougher on your pre-qualing, depending on where you're at in your business. As a business coach, maybe you don't need to do that much because they're business owners. And guess what? If I prejudged people based on how much money they were already making or how long they've been coaching, Lenell would never have become a client of mine because he had not really been coaching before and wasn't making any money yet. So if I just filtered people out like that. But that said, generally for me, when people apply to have sessions with us, I usually will only have a session with somebody if they're making $175,000 per year or more in their business already. That's sort of been that's actually I just set that level. It was 6 figures last year. I was like, well, if they're at 6 figures, now I'm like 175. And honestly, I don't even know. At some point I might. But anyway, bottom line is, so that's one way. So there's lots of ways to pre-qualify. One is, how long have you been in business? So actually, there's a whole list of questions in here.
Yeah, there's some at the end.
So if you look at the script, so I give you the free session offer on page, which is called the client getting email. It's on pages 61. Actually, it starts on 59. Oh, it runs many pages. It starts on 59, but at the end on page 60, how long have you had your business? What kind of product or service do you provide? What are your revenue goals for the next 12 months? What was your business revenue over the last 12 months? What do you see as the major challenges holding you and your business back from growing at the pace you want? On a scale of 0 to 10, how important is it for you to overcome your challenges and achieve your goals today? So you could ask them those things. You could ask there's other things you could ask in here too. Mm-hmm. How long, I don't know if we had in here, how long have you had your business? Another one is like, list all the trainings and support that you've invested in your business thus far. Mm. So if people are, and might be counterintuitive for some of us, you might be thinking, well, if they're already spending money on coaching, then maybe they don't need it from me. But it's the opposite. People who are already spending money on training and coaching and then all those other things are really highly likely to pay you. So could be a really good list to help pre-qualify some folks.
Would you recommend doing anything like a deposit? I remember you did that for the first round.
Yeah,
of
you could do a deposit. You could do a deposit where you could just flat out charge for the session. Mm-hmm. That's totally okay to do. If you already have info products, you could only give people a session with you if they've already invested in one of your programs, because then they're willing to spend money to solve their problem. And yeah, you could flat out sell that session. People pay for these intro sessions. George, my 0 to 6 figures in 72 days, I don't remember if he charged right out of the gate, but very soon into his business, he started charging $500 for people to have a session with him for that first session. So you totally charge for the session too. You can do the deposit as well. And also you could just get $500 and then hire other people to do the intro sessions and hire other coaches to do the coaching. How awesome is that? Like, think bigger. Like, if you think, I don't want this many clients, raise your hand if you've ever thought, well, I don't really want that many clients. Raise your hand if you've ever had that thought. Banish that thought from your mind. Banish that thought. What are you telling the universe? Just give me a little. I'll just have a little. Just a little, please. Don't do that. That's crazy. It's cray-cray. So instead, I want all the clients who are a great fit for me, and I will find a place for them in my business. One-on-one coaching, group coaching, coaching with one of the coaches on your team. And intro sessions, yes, you might not want 500 all at once because you won't be able to do them. If you don't have all the rest set up yet, then then definitely, I call it the floodgates. Like, how wide do you want the floodgates open, right? We want the floodgates of prosperity open all the way. We want the floodgates of intro sessions opened some. It depends on if you have a JV partner that could send you 500 free sessions, then you want to have it be pretty tight because you don't want to do more than 20 or 30 in a little run because you don't want people waiting 6 months or a year to have a session with you. If you do 500, how quickly conceivably can you get to numbers 450 to 500? It's going to be a long time unless you get a lot of help. So anyway, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right, let's give. No, not Solange. What is it? Simone. Let's give Simone a round. Now everybody's messing with me. Gosh, I'm having a hard enough time messing me up. Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Easy name.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay. You haven't mentioned anything about bonuses or doing something for current clients that refer people to you. Have you done anything like that?
I haven't gotten to there yet.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my
but
question.
Maybe that's a good segue. Let me see if that's the next one on the list anyway. No, it's at the end of my list, but we can just bump it up. Let me finish up on JVs. I just talking about really the in-person JV stuff, but when you're ready to move to online JV stuff, then you have an opt-in page, you have a free gift, you sell them stuff, you sell stuff, you give your JV partner part of the profits and stuff. Don't really do any revenue share when you're selling your one-on-one coaching. All right? You don't need to do that. There's all those other ways you can reward people. The whole stone soup thing. Nowhere in my stone soup strategy was it give them money. That said, they're actually on the list of people, JV partners that I gave you, whatever page that was. There's on the following page is ways that you can reward your strategic alliance partners on page 64. One of them is money. But I'm not going to run through that, but you can read that yourself. Okay? All right. Okay. We did social media marketing. So here's my social media marketing. Posting a free session offer on Facebook. And then getting clients. Raise your hand if you've ever posted a free session offer on Facebook and then gotten clients from it. I was like, Lee, how are you not raising your... Yes, thank you. You're a little slow with the hand there, Lee. Lee's the queen. Yeah, and my guess is raise your hand if you've never tried that. So most everybody. Well, a lot of people, some people have their hands up. Okay, so that's been my social media marketing, is just do that and get clients that way. That said, there are lots of leads to be had on social media. Mari Smith knows all about how to do that in a free way, like doing it for free, like using social media, building your following and all that stuff. Frankly, I don't know anything about that. And then the other is, if you jump down to 6, so online forums is number 5. Now online forums, most of them are over on Facebook. So now there's Facebook groups. So many. We used to have email groups for all of our products. And then people just stopped Like they just all started dying because everybody was on Facebook, and that's just where the action happened. So we started creating Facebook groups. But one of the things you could do, all right, I'll give you a couple of tips for social media marketing that I do know and I have done. You could follow people who also work with your target market. Who are the big name business teachers out there? You know, think about who those people are and get on their fan page and then start liking all of their fans. You can't do a lot of them, but you could do a little bit. And when you like, not liking their fan, like friending them, friend their fans. And then people who friend, you know, if you friend them, a lot of people will accept your friend request. So you can now be friends with some of those people. And now when you post stuff on your feed, it will likely show up on their feed, right? If you post a free session offer, they might take it. Or you could post a free article offer. Hey, just wrote this great free article. If you'd like to get it, click here, and it goes to your opt-in page, and they can opt in and get your article. There's other online forums, but like I said, one place where there might be good online forums is other people who sell business training. If they sell online training programs that come with any sort of an online members area or members forum, or a Facebook group for that product, you could join that Facebook group. You pay, it's worth if you pay $2,000 for someone's program, and now you get to be in their Facebook group, and you can, tell people about you can be helpful. That's the other key. Just like everything else I teach, if you want to be successful, you give. So you be helpful. Alina was sitting next to me. I was being helpful. If I'm in a community, I'm going to be helpful. My goal is to be helpful first. That's mission number one. In my world, mission one is heal people, first priority, teach people, second priority, sell something, third priority. That's my world. Other people's world, it's flip. And it's sell first, teach second, heal third, if those are even on there, And there's nothing wrong. I'm not judging. This is the way that I do it. And that's the way I approach everything. Give. Heal, teach, whatever. Support, love, coach. So if you paid $2,000 for a program and you go in a forum and with all these people who are now, what are they? Qualified leads, because they are willing to spend money on their business. And if you start being really helpful and sharing articles even without an opt-in page, just be like, hey, I wrote this article, and they can go and read it. Hey, here's a video on this. Here, go and read it, with an opt-in box underneath if they want more. Or, hey, you know what? Offering a free session. From time to time, not all day, every day, but you build up some trust and fans, and then maybe you get somebody hiring you inside that community, and they start telling other people. David just told one of his friends about our programs, and they signed up. So online forums, they still exist, but a lot of them are on Facebook. So you can become friends with people or join groups that are related to your niche market, which for everybody in the room, it's business. And then advertising. Really the best advertising these days is Facebook ads. And I don't know much about Facebook ads, other than it's a good idea, and I just don't do it. I had somebody run my part of my Facebook campaign for my last launch, and I think we added like 12,000 subscribers in 2 weeks from running those ads. So then we ended the launch, we ended our advertising, and I've been like, we should just turn that spigot back on, and wanting to get to it and just haven't yet. And then now, since our next launch is coming up in August anyway, I'll just wait till then, probably. That said, the person who ran my campaign for me, his name's Justin Livingston, and his partner Kellen Rush. So they actually have a new Facebook product out for Facebook ads that Justin's selling. So if you guys are interested in it, I'll send an email to you guys, and you guys can, if you want to learn that stuff. And then the last one is word of mouth. people telling other people. So if I send out emails to my list, I, as a rule of thumb, aim to, don't always do it, but say, hey, if you found this article valuable, please forward it on to other coaches you know. Raise your hand if you've ever read one of my emails, gotten one of my emails, and then forwarded it to someone else. Raise your hand. That's a really high percentage. Yeah. So out of all these strategies, the two biggest for me, like, are JVs and word of mouth. Those are the ones that, and I don't really do that much for word of mouth other than what I just said. So really it's joint ventures is how I grow my list these days. Back in the day, it was a lot of speaking and networking and local JVs doing the Stone Soup stuff. That's, the first 2-3 years of my business, that was my bread and butter. That's how I kept paying my mortgage. During the months where I was able to pay it. And then catch back up. I don't know if I answered your question, Bill. I don't remember what it was. Referrals from current clients. Okay. That's something I don't really do, personally. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it's something I just don't spend time on, getting our clients to refer other people to us. I probably have some stuff about that maybe I need to work on or something. I don't know what. And it's happening anyway. So word of mouth, if you have great stuff, word of mouth is going to happen. One of the things that I decided when I finally broke through if my list of all the stuff I had to work through to get to where I'm at right now was written out on whatever these flip charts, this whole room would be completely filled up from floor to ceiling, from wall to wall with stuff I've had to work through. So it has been a big work in progress. But back in the day, I couldn't write an article. I couldn't write. Felt too overwhelmed. Anytime I got an idea, I got 5,000 ideas, and I was too overwhelmed, and I couldn't start. Once I finally broke through that and I started writing articles, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give the best stuff I've got. My coach, who was coaching me at the time, was like, you know what? You shouldn't give that much. Like, it was amazing. And he was this super spiritual dude, super spiritual. And he was like, I think you're overgiving, in these. You should pull back, give a little bit, but not too much. And I was like, you know what? If it's making him nervous, then I just feel like this is what I need to do. I'm going to make the best articles and give the best stuff away for free. And that's how my list really took off. I wasn't even doing JV partners. It was word of mouth in the early days. Once I finally could write and coaches were reading it, and then create a little frenzy. And you can do that. And guess what? The last thing I want to share with you is that I didn't, not only did I work through that much stuff, it's taken me 15 years to create all my info products and doing live events. And, this isn't even that giant of a room, you know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this for a long time. This could be a 500. You can have a room this big already. If you do your local workshop, I guarantee some of you guys are going to have a room this big on your first try. It's one step at a time. You've got the goods already right now. And you don't have to know how to do all of it. How many sources of leads do you need in order to have a thriving business? One that works. One that works. Remember on yesterday we did a quick review of the 5 ways to make money fast. Well, one of those is to look at what's working best and do more of that. And maybe the ones that aren't working as much, either do less or don't do them at all. So for me, JVs, that's what I do in this day and age. I don't actually do guest speak. I hardly ever guest speak for the last couple of years. I've hardly done any guest speaking. I probably have a sense I'm going to be doing a whole lot more in the near future, but it's JVs for me. That's what's good for me. But you know what? Facebook ads work great. And if you're interested and you're a little more techie savvy than I am, do some Facebook ads. In fact, it's not like you need to be tech savvy. It's just if you want to really scale it in a massive way. How many clients do you need to make 6 figures? 10 or less? 8 or 5 or 1 or half a 1? Right? So you've learned all this stuff, and you don't have to figure it out. You don't have to do it all. You go to one networking event, meet one person, get one client, maybe. Maybe you get a client, maybe you don't. You find one JV partner. You do your first workshop. You just go to a networking event, you give a 30-second commercial and offer everybody a free session. You've got plenty to go on here. You guys feel good? Okay. So in a minute, we're going to go to lunch. And when we come back, I'm going to help you take everything that we've covered so far and turn it into a simple, concrete action plan so you know exactly what you need to do to get rocking when you get home. And then we're going to give you your certification test so that I can certify you. You guys want to be certified, right? Yes. And you guys are certifiable. That was a cheap joke. All right. Everybody stand up. So we'll be back here at 2:30 after we go to lunch. We'll be back here at 2:30. Bigs are having lunch with me, all bigs. Current bigs, new bigs, you'll all be having lunch with me. And then if you guys can actually take your stuff, you can leave stuff in the room, but if you can take your stuff off the tables, this way when people come back, we can sit in a new spot. That would be great. And give 3 awesome hugs on your way to lunch.